Hello again, everyone. Please continue eating and enjoying this wonderful food. We just have a great program for you today, and we wanted to start. And wanted to once again thank you all so much again for coming to this event. And I believe that you've enjoyed some wonderful food today. Yes? How about a round of applause for the staff in the kitchen? There are a lot of thank yous that go around, especially when we talk about the organization of Guilford Interfaith Ministries. And I have been a part of this organization for many years. It wasn't until 2012 that I actually became the president of the organization. But I do have to say that I'll never forget the day when someone that was a member of my church community, Christ Church Guilford, asked me if I would be a part of a board. And I really didn't know what the board was about. And I will tell you that it's amazing the people that I've come in contact with, the amazing support that we have with us in this organization, and also the people that make it what it is. I do have some fun facts for you also about Meals on Wheels, and I thought that you might find them rather interesting. I am a current banker, and so not very good with numbers, so I figured maybe I have my card here just to help me out. But some really interesting facts. Does anyone know how many meals have been served by this organization since 1985? 500,000. Barbara, 500,000? Very close. 585,000. Any idea how many meals to date in 2015 we served? How about 17,700? Anyone know how many active volunteers we currently have for Guilford's Meals on Wheels? A lot. Many of you are here. This year today we actually have 74, and always continuing to grow, always looking for new people to help. The next part of our program, I have the pleasure of the introduction of Miss Gail O'Leary. Let's give her a round of applause. Gail has been a member of this organization since it's begun. It was back in July of 1985 that the very first board of directors assembled the Meals on Wheels program here in Guilford, and Gail has just been the heart and soul of this operation for so many years. There really aren't that many words that I could use other than the love that's in her heart and for this organization that all of you know and feel. And I'm very honored today to be able to allow you to give her the time to talk about her experience with our organization. Please welcome Gail O'Leary.
Oh, hi, everybody. It's such an honor to come and talk to you because there would be no Guilford Interfaith Ministries or any of our wonderful programs without people like you. You are just awesome. Okay, I don't have Bob's volume. Well, you're all wonderful, that's what I said. Okay. My story today, I've been asked to talk about the history and the founding of Guilford Interfaith Ministries and thus Meals on Wheels. To simplify a pretty complicated process of how we began, I've divided the beginnings into 4 parts. The first part, these 4 parts come together, and the result is our wonderful program. The first part starts with none other than the infamous Dr. Elizabeth Adams. She was, as you know, an awesome lady. She nurtured all of Guilford. She brought kindness, medical care, to everyone. And one of the other items that she brought, and what she did was she would end up cooking hot meals for her people. She'd be on the road at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, down in her little car, and she was off going all day long. She was known for never sleeping and serving and taking care of people in Guilford. And that brings me to my second part, and that is the Shoreline Interfaith Clergy Council. Dr. Adams got the ear of Reverend Dan McSheffrey from St. George's Church and got talking to him about the need for meals, a hot meal to be delivered to people in Guilford, that there was a great need. And Father McSheffrey went back to the Interfaith Clergy Council and got the support of 7 faith groups to get the Meals on Wheels program started. And that's how things really got rolling. The 7 faith groups were the Unitarian Church, St. George's, the First Congregational Church, Christ Episcopal Church, Temple Beth Tifka, St. John's in North Guilford, and the North Guilford Congregational Church. That faith base has expanded. It's in your programs. Okay, the third part of our beginnings, about the same time that this was going on with the Interfaith Clergy Council and Dr. Adams and Dan McSheffrey were nudging, there was a Peace and Justice Center at St. George's Church. And Dr. Adams approached the Peace and Justice Center, and indeed they became involved. And under the direction and guidance and extremely hard work of Jay Bowes and Pam Ozick, Guilford Interfaith Ministries was formed. The original GIM board was composed of representatives from each of the 7 participating faith groups. I was very fortunate to be on that founding board of directors, and let me tell you, what a group it was. As Bob said in the beginning, our boards are still incredible, and that was just an awesome board. We really didn't know what we were getting into. We didn't know how we were going to do it, but we were determined that the people in our town deserved the dignity, if they needed food, that they would get food. And we made it happen. Let's see, what happened next? Oh, next is part 4, and this was the real boggle in the most essential part to get us going. And the town of Guilford came through, and via the Park and Recreation's Senior Nutrition Program, the town of Guilford stepped forward and provided us with a cook and a kitchen. I mean, just awesome. And all Guilford Interfaith Ministries had to pay for was the food and still is, and the packaging. That is an incredible cooperative effort that shows the support and love of this town for its community. So with all 4 of our pieces together, we were able to get a Meals on Wheels program off the ground. And in July 1985, GIM volunteers delivered the first 12 Meals on Wheels. Today, there are 90 to 100 meals delivered daily from this building. And it all happens because of you folks. You're the ones that do it in the support of this wonderful community. I have 2 quick asides that I thought I would add on to this. When we started, where we are now was the old center school with the old community center here. Is that what it was called? The Church Street School, okay. And in the kitchen in the back is where these meals were prepared. It was small and it was tight. And then this building was demolished. And what was Meals on Wheels going to do? Well, the first Congregational Church came through and we took over their basement kitchen and dining room, and for almost 2 years, Marge Lavery can attest to the fact that the meals were cooked there and delivered from there. She was our cook at the time. It was a challenge, but it was met by all our volunteers and by the wonderful kitchen staff, and we did it. And now we're back in these beautiful digs that where we are now. My second aside, I'm going to talk about the migrating Meals on Wheels office. As I was thinking about it today when I was making some notes, I realized we didn't move voluntarily. We were evicted each time. We started out at the Peace and Justice Center. That was our first home. Then Gary Parrington, one of our Meals on Wheels volunteers, invited us, it was Betsy Sturzel and myself at that point, to use the bump out room at the Lathrop House. And then Imogene St. Paul, who was our board president at the time, was able to get us into some classy digs at the Women and Family Life Center. Well, that was rather short-lived when we started loading all our potty seats and everything else over there. And Betsy was able to get us into a cozy nook at the brand new Sachem Hollow Senior Housing. But now we're finally in our final home, all of our own, absolutely gorgeous, behind the Sachem Hollow Senior Housing. And that is how we started and where we are today. And I thank you very much. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you a dedicated Meals on Wheels driver, a former director of Charlie's Closet, and the present administrator of Guilford Interfaith Ministries, the awesome Joanne Carson.
Thank you, Gail. What a nice crowd. When I moved to Guilford 10 years ago, I decided to be a volunteer for Meals on Wheels. It's a good way to meet people. It's a good way to know the area. I was so impressed with the feeling that I got just walking into that office. The caring, the respect, the friendship. It was just tangible. I remember thinking to myself, boy, how cool it would be to work with people like these. How cool it would be to work in a place like this. And I got my wish. It is just amazing. So as a newcomer to Guilford, and after 10 years, I still feel like a newcomer, I'm in awe of the community support that our organization receives. I can't tell you the number of times that I have heard, you Guilford folks really take care of your people. We wanted to take this opportunity, the 30th anniversary of Meals on Wheels, to let everyone in our community know that we recognize the tremendous support that we receive, and we are so glad that you value the service that we provide, that you think that what we do is important enough to continue to support us, and that you all join with us and bring to life our mission of neighbor helping neighbor. So we'll begin with our faith communities, from the organizational task force, whose core belief in the dignity of each citizen inspired their work and who spent countless hours working on the nitty-gritty details of this program, to so many people today who deliver meals or to volunteer with our other programs or who serve on our board of directors. Thank you for all you so freely give. So if you are a member of one of these faith communities, please stand. Please stand and be recognized. Come on, stand up. There's many of you out there. Anybody in a faith community, stand up. This whole place is full of faith. There we go, come on. There's more. Come on, stand and be recognized. There's a prize for the single person that stands up for everything I call. Next, we have our town and government officials and employees who are performing that delicate balancing act of weighing resources against needs. We appreciate that many requests are made of finite resources. The town's support of us with the senior kitchen and staff is essential to our program. We don't know what we'd do without it. And we are so grateful that the town recognizes the value that Meals on Wheels brings to our residents. We realize that our program would not be a success without your support. So if you are a member of our government, if you're an employee of our town, please stand and be recognized. Come on, guys, back there. Stand and be recognized. Come on. A reality in life is that we need financial support to function, and our community is so very generous to Meals on Wheels and all of our program. The community fund partnership and commitment to us is essential to our operation, and there are many, many Guilford businesses and individuals who give generously. Of particular note is the Guilford Rotary. Back in 1997, they invited us to get involved with the very first Lobster Fest, and in return, with help with ticket sales and the preparation of the Saturday morning preparation for the fest and for staffing the serving line, the Rotary gave a share of the proceeds to Meals on Wheels. The Lobster Fest is our biggest fundraiser, and we would like to publicly say thank you to the Rotary for continuing this tradition. Thank you very much. You may be surprised to learn of another important source of support: memorial bequests. We so appreciate the care and thoughtfulness that goes into the decision to request that memorial donations be made to Meals on Wheels in honor of a loved one's passing. These donations truly make a difference in our community. And so, if you contribute to us financially, if you work with one of the organizations or businesses that so generously support us, if you send us a memorial check in someone's name, thank you for all that you give. Please stand and be recognized. And this should be the whole place. You're all so generous. Please stand. Got the community fund back there. We've got the Rotary over here. We've got Bishop's Orchards over here. So the community recognizes the importance of what we do and generously supports us. But the real boots on the ground, the heart and soul of our programs, are our volunteers. The focus tonight has been on Meals on Wheels, but this is the yearly event where we take stock of all that has been accomplished in all of our programs and thank those who have been faithful week after week all year long. The Guilford Food Bank is located across the street from the Whitfield House at 45 Stonehouse Lane, and it's co-coordinated by our own Anne Marie Gunn and Guilford Social Services. There's Anne Marie back there. Many of you know, but maybe not all of you, that donations for the food bank can be dropped off on Friday mornings or at Palumbo's or Big Y, and that food distribution is on Friday afternoon from 3 to 4:30 or Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The donation and distribution hours are staffed by a team of dedicated volunteers. There are 46 food bank volunteers who staff this lifeline service for our Guilford neighbors. This past year, they provided almost 47,000 meals to recipients, to Guilford neighbors. So food bank volunteers, thank you for all you do for our community. Please stand and be recognized. Friendly Visiting is a program that matches trained volunteers with homebound or isolated Guilford residents for a social visit. This program grew directly out of the Meals on Wheels program when the early drivers observed that folks were as hungry for companionship as for food. Anne Marie Gunn also directs the Friendly Visiting program. There are 48 Friendly Visiting volunteers, and they spent over 2,400 hours visiting our neighbors this year. Some of the friendships that have been formed over the years have lasted many years and have spanned many miles. Friendly Visiting volunteers, thank you for the time and patience that you give to your friends. Please stand and be recognized. Charlie's Closet is a used medical equipment clearinghouse and is directed by Susan Egan, over there behind the camera. People donate gently used equipment, then Sue and her volunteers check out the equipment, clean it up, make minor repairs if possible, and then provide the equipment to anyone requesting it for the nominal price of $1, though many people donate more than that dollar. Last year, 4,000 pieces of equipment were provided. 1,100 of those pieces stayed right here in Guilford and went to our residents. If purchased new, the equipment Charlie's Closet provided just this past year would have cost $500,000, $500,000 worth of equipment. Charlie's Closet volunteers, thank you for all of your time. Please stand and be recognized. Meals on Wheels drivers, how'd you like that winter? What an amazing winter they had. Snow and icy walkways and driveways, and then more snow on top of it. Late deliveries, double deliveries. The postman and his neither snow nor rain nor heat had nothing over our Meals on Wheels drivers this year. Meals on Wheels is available to any Guilford resident having difficulty preparing a nutritious meal. There are no age or financial restrictions. Our 74 Meals on Wheels drivers put over 19,000 miles on their cars this year, delivering almost 23,000 meals. Meals on Wheels drivers, thank you for all you give to our community. Please stand and be recognized. Now I'd like to introduce our Meals on Wheels director, Marta Slattery. There she is. If she looks tan and rested, it's because she's back from a week's vacation in Florida.
Much needed after this winter.
Right, that's what I said. She didn't look that way this winter. One of her drivers was so worried about her, she bought her a bottle of sherry. And her husband, Jim, just entered the building. Would you please make sure to schedule a winter vacation for her next year? Just 1 week, though. I can't handle more than 1 week. Marta.
Thank you very much, everybody. I actually wrote a little bit. Having just come back from vacation, I wasn't sure where my brain would be. This is a very small token of our appreciation for everything you do every year. We just looking around the room, we know why our program is as awesome, as wonderful as it is. You really make it happen. As we celebrate the 30 years of Guilford Meals on Wheels, we see that it's truly a team effort. Not only the support that we get from the town, but the citizens. Everybody knows about the program, is always willing to help. The people that receive it are so grateful. We really live in a wonderful city. Thank you to our board of directors. They are really standing out there in the back, please. And special thanks to Bob Donahue and Carol Mara, who put all this wonderful event together. Thank you, guys. I'm truly lucky to work with a wonderful group of volunteers. The Meals on Wheels drivers are great. I am so blessed to work with them every day. And especially after this past winter, like Joanne said, it was just, in the beginning I said, when the first snowy day started, hey, I like a challenge from time to time. Well, I really got it. But these guys just stuck with it. They drove again and again. I know it was tough, but thank you very much. I know that at least I am enjoying the beautiful weather that we are having right now and hope that it will continue. And now we have a couple of very special thank yous. I don't know, is Bess here? Have you seen? No. So one of our 5 routes goes all the way up to North Guilford. For a long time, it went almost to Durham. It's around 30 miles round trip. And it can be challenging, especially in the winter. There are long driveways. It is hard to find the addresses at times. It's always an adventure. Well, we have a very special driver that has been doing this route for 30 years. We would like to honor Mrs. Barbara Bishop. Barbara, would you like to come, please? I want to say about Barbara. I know that every Tuesday morning, whether it rains or sleets or it's 40 degrees out, she's going to be there to deliver meals with a smile on her face. It's truly a pleasure to work with you.
Enjoy it.
You,
I enjoy it. It's great. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure, and it's just, I look along as I drive by sometimes, and I think of, I used to deliver there and go 25 years here, and the people that have come through the program have gone through the end of the 90s and still getting a meal. It's amazing, and it's been a great pleasure. I've met so many wonderful people that way, and it's just a challenge to get some of the special requests. And like one time, there's one woman that used to be on, if I wasn't at her house at 5 minutes after 12, Gail was going to get a call. Did they forget me? You know? And I said to her, I haven't forgot you yet, have I? You know? But it's been great.
Thank you, Barbara. I know the other reason that we have a wonderful program is that we have the best kitchen staff. We are lucky to have Larry Santamaria as our chef. I always remember what one client said once. He used to get Meals on Wheels in another town close by. And he said one day, you know, their meals are edible, but these are actually good. And it is true. Larry, thank you very much. Could you come? We really have a good time in the kitchen. Larry has an assistant chef, Ian, who is not with us today, but we have Lindsay Thomas and Frank Colligan. I'll give it to them. Okay. Come on. Larry, come on up.
too.
So I think it's crystal clear that this organization is all about giving. Every single person in this room gives most generously of their time, their talent, and their treasure. Every single person in this room unselfishly gives back to their community, gives back to this wonderful town of Guilford. Everything our organization does is aimed at enabling our volunteers to do the best job that they can to make a difference right here in Guilford. We want everyone in town to know that we are all about giving, that our volunteers are at the center of all we do. We want to shout from the rooftops that what we do makes a difference in Guilford. And so, we are proud and pleased to announce that going forward, our organization will be known as GIV, Guilford Interfaith Volunteers, and we hope to join you again 20 years from now and hear about how we continue to make a difference in Guilford. And now we give you GIV. You'll be hearing more about that in the weeks and months to come. And now I think we're going to have dessert. Are we going to bring it around, or are they going to pick it up? I'm not sure of what's happening next. Thank you all for coming. Good night.